Tom Brady played 2 preseason games without the NFL decal on the back of his helmet, and according to Tom Curran of CSN New England, Brady would say that he wasn't aware that the sticker was missing. The NFL has a strict uniform policy, and Brady could be subject to a fine. Max Kellerman, is this a big deal?
It is a big deal, actually. And first of all, I love it. I love it for a couple reasons. One, because it's just so gangster of Tom Brady, and I can't help it. In this case, sticking it to the man overrides my hatred of the Patriots.
With the sticker.
That's right. But this is why it's actually a big deal. Think about what he's protesting, how he's thumbing his nose at the league. He's saying, I'm innocent, I didn't mess with the equipment or direct anyone to mess with the equipment. And his thumbing his nose at the league by messing with his equipment, it actually makes him look guilty. It is a big deal.
You love it. It's so gangster. He has a problem with the league, one that he's getting $29 million from, because you got the signing bonus and then the little base salary. You know, the base salary that he avoided getting, took less of this year because he had taken it last year. The penalty would have been more punitive.
Gangster. You know what that's called? A gangster.
All I'm trying to say is this. You got a problem with the cats you collecting all of these millions from. You're the victim. He's innocent. Please. This is another protest on the part of the New England Patriots because they do things their way, and they're snubbing their nose at the NFL. Fine, good and dandy. You love it, I hate it. It's unnecessary, it's counterproductive, and more importantly, it keeps the eyes of the NFL right on you. It hasn't worked for you before, in case you haven't noticed, because week 1 starting this weekend, and Tom Brady's going to be home, okay? Can't even practice with the team. This is what this is the kind of stuff that exacerbates situations.
The last laugh is on us.
Stickergate.
The last laugh is on us, though, because they're going to be no worse than 2-2 in the first 4 games, and then Brady's going to come back with a vengeance.
Well, he's going to come back. I believe that, but the bottom line is this. He's going to be watching football games from home just like the rest of us.
Yep.
And I'm sure that's not what he wished to do.
Not just like the rest of us in a mansion with a supermodel and the whole thing. Not exactly like the rest of us.
Well, you know.
Super Bowl ring.
Depends on who you're talking about.
His life's all right. He does have a moat.
Yeah.
Right?
Something like that.
You just stay quiet. Keep yourself out of trouble,
anytime you mention Tom Brady and the supermodel wife, I keep thinking about Giselle on that runway, runway walk for the Olympics.
She owned that.
It was spectacular.
Owned it. A
It was
switch
special.
in her hips because he's watching,
It was special. I understood at that moment why he married.
Yeah, it all came together for
you. It all came
together.
together.
Don't have anybody valuable enough to take up that last spot to give us the opportunity to see how he does. There's just not enough value there, realistically, to bring someone else in. That's the deciding factor. You don't have to spend a lot of time, Mac, going over and getting kind of circumcising the mosquito. You don't have to do that over there on him, because you look back over on the other side that caused you to make the decision, and there's nobody good enough to take that spot to give you a chance for that if he can come back.
Did he say what I thought he said about a mosquito?
Yeah, the mosquito reference, classic Jerry. He was suggesting that the Cowboys will keep Tony Romo on the 53-man active list because they don't have anyone valuable enough to take the spot over Romo. Romo suffered a compression fracture in his back August 25th against the Seahawks. He's expected to need 6 to 10 weeks to recover. Jeff Saturday in the house. Good morning. How we doing?
Fantastic. Jerry made my day much better.
Right?
Already. Oh, Jerry.
You're gonna work that reference into the show at some point on NFL Live. Plain and simple. Is Romo done?
Absolutely not. He's not done. No, I mean, listen,
as a starter?
No, he's not done. Tony Romo, the injuries are mounting up. He's an aging quarterback. But let's talk about this football team and what he brings to it. He brings a level of stability in knowing what you're getting every week. Dak Prescott has played very well in preseason, and I'm hoping he plays well in the season. You're hoping he is. But what Tony Romo has given to this team with 30-plus touchdowns the 2 years before he was injured, obviously going down last year and now at the beginning of the season this year, that's difficult to take. But he's taken some crazy shots, right? I mean, this isn't normal type things. And you're talking about a defense that is not going to be the end-all, be-all. Your defense is having Ezekiel Elliott and a very good offensive line to take the pressure off those guys. So Prescott, Romo, they are going to manage the offense with a good run game. Don't take many chances. When it's there, feed Dez, Witten, move the ball, move the chains. But you'll have to understand how, and as the season progresses now, I mean, it's one thing at the beginning of the season, another thing midseason. When the season starts to end and everything, all the playoffs, all the implications, defenses get tighter. Having a guy that's experienced like Romo coming back does add value. So I do not think is he completely finished. I love the drama. I love the drama of the question. I love that everybody looks at it that way. That is not the case. I mean, this guy took a freak shot on the back, getting draped over. But when he comes back at full strength and healthy, he adds value to the Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't matter how well Prescott plays, anybody, he will add value to this team because of the experience he has in running and managing the Cowboys and the playoff expectations.
Could he make a playoff run? Yep. Is he done on a game-to-game basis if he's healthy for the game? No. He can still be Tony Romo. But is he done as a guy who you can plan a season around? He's been done as that guy.
Right.
He has a degenerative back condition, essentially.
Right.
So but what they can hope is if the defense can play just well enough past that tipping point to keep them in games because of how many resources they've invested in their offensive line in recent years, first round of the draft, and how well they've played together, he can hope that they can still be in it, and he gets healthy at the right time.
That's right.
And catches fire. There's a difference between being done the way Romo is. Look, he ain't going to play 16 games. Just got to hope he's healthy when the timing's right. And being done the way your boy Peyton Manning was, where it's like, this is no longer the same guy.
Right.
This is fundamentally a different guy now, the way Kobe Bryant was. He flashes, but at the end, he's not the same guy. On a game-for-game basis, when Romo's on the field, he's still Tony Romo, which means if he can get on the field and their record's just good enough,
that's right,
the Cowboys can make some noise.
And the division they're playing in, this is not, I mean, they have a shot. I mean, you think about the Giants are going to be better, Redskins are going to have but this team is in it. So, you like you said, hang on, man. I mean, just strap it, try to batten the hatches down, whatever you got to do to hold on, because peaking at the end of the season with a healthy Tony Romo makes it a viable situation where you can push for the playoffs.
And Dak gives you more hope than they had last year.
No doubt.
Based on what he did in the
having deja
preseason.
vu. I don't know about you guys.
Are you finished?
For now, let's
Sure.
see what you got to say.
Finish?
I'm finished. I'm ready to hear it.
Tony Romo's done. Done. And let me tell you why I say he's done. Because when we talk about Tony Romo, that's who we're talking about. We're talking about the franchise quarterback. We're talking about the team that went 1-11, the guy that the team went 1-11 without. We ain't talking about some dude that you could just throw up in there. Oh, can we get a couple of games out of you? That's not the Tony Romo. You don't get to change the narrative about Tony Romo. This is Tony Romo. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't Sean Hill. This ain't some journeyman quarterback or somebody. We're talking about Tony Romo. I'm not talking about the name. I'm talking about Tony Romo. If you're talking to me about a quarterback that you could come back, let's hope he can give us 3 games, and his name happens to be Tony Romo, sure, he can play for you. But if you're talking about Tony Romo, the franchise quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a herniated disc in the back in 2013. I'm talking about the Travis process in the back in 2 places on a Monday Night Football game in Week 8 of the 2014 season. I'm talking about the broken collarbone in 2015. I'm talking about the fractured vertebrae that just took place. I'm saying I've got, in 2 years, I've got 3 back injuries. In 2 years, for the quarterback of your franchise, it's over. So when you look at it, and that's how I'm looking at it, because at 36 years of age, I'm not believing in a sport like football, as violent as it is, that you're coming back from that. Now think about this for a second here. He's got Ezekiel Elliott. He's got Alfred Morris. Hopefully Darren McFadden will come back from his elbow injury, okay? So you got to stout running game. You have unquestionably the best offensive line in football. Des Bryant is back. Jason Witten is back. Terrence Williams is back. And he still gets hurt.
Wait.
Those
guys mean he's supposed to...
No, that's not what I'm... Listen to me. I'm saying that one of the reasons we would speculate about the potential productivity of a Tony Romo is because we're looking at the parts around you and saying he's not going to be asked to do much. He'll be fine. And still something happens.
Yes, can I
because it's Tony Romo.
Can I tell you what I'm dealing with?
That's what I'm saying.
Can I show you
Stephen C. Smith today. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
He just makes the case that Tony Romo is done, and to make that case, You actually say, look, they can't win without him. His value is demonstrated in his absence, and therefore he's done.
I'm saying to you that Tony Romo, because of what is required as a quarterback in the National Football League, for some reason, there are just guys. To work with me here, Jeff.
Listen, hold
there
on.
are just guys.
Oh,
there are just, hold on. There are just guys. Those certain guys where, I mean, you could pass them with bad breath and something happens. There's just those guys. He only missed 2 games over 4 seasons before last year, where he missed 12. I get that. But I'm saying over the last 2 years, it ain't the shoulder or the elbows. It's his back, man.
But before
his
last
back.
year, the 2 years before, he's got 30-plus TDs and 9 and 10.
I'm not questioning his ability. I have no question about his ability.
He can play through pain.
Really?
He can play through injury. Until last year in the collarbone, he played through the back stuff. He fought through and was productive.
What does that say to you, though, Jeff?
31 and 10 and 30 and 39. I'll take it. I mean, there are a lot of teams who would take that.
I'm not questioning the ability now. I know the brother can play. I'm saying
that's what I'm saying.
36 years of age with 3 back injuries in 2 years?
He's proven that he can fight through.
You're the same guy.
The only thing he didn't play through is the collarbone, and he couldn't play through it. Right now, he's got a steel plate put in there.
You're the same guy who just said throw Bradford out, even with his injury history. The Vikings want to make throw him out week 1 before he knows what he's doing. But the same guy says Tony Romo's done.
I have a question for Jeff Saturday. Jeff, will he play a 16-game season again?
Ooh.
See?
But it doesn't matter.
Yes,
that doesn't matter.
It does matter. At some point that he can still play a full season.
Here's what matters.
Did you see last year?
It does not matter, Molly.
Here's what matters.
It didn't matter last year.
15 games, 14 games, 16 games, whatever he can give you, productivity on the field, he can win games that matter.
Right.
That's what matters. You don't have, I mean, what we're talking about, he doesn't have to be a 16-game stud for this franchise to be successful. If when he comes back, he's at full strength and he is healthy, he will be a productive player.
Here's where I'm at. Hold on. Here's where I'm at. I believe, to be clear, when I say Tony Romo's done, I'm saying I don't believe that man is at a point where he'll give you more than 8 games.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
I don't believe it. I think that back set, Jeff. I think that back.
Hasn't done it. Didn't do it last year, not doing it this year, probably.
I think that back.
Look,
I think that back at age 36. I know you're saying 2 seasons. I'm thinking 36 years of age.
Here's the difference.
That's what I'm thinking.
You and I are on the same page about this. And I'm not comparing Romo to Jeter or Peyton or Kobe as the level of play.
Right.
But those guys at the end were done. It wasn't Derek Jeter. It wasn't Peyton Manning. It wasn't Kobe Bryant anymore. There were the remains of those players still on the field. Romo is more like, I'll make a more obscure baseball reference, El Duque, the pitcher for the Yankees, won a lot of World Series. He might only give you half a season, but if he was healthy for the playoffs, you had an ace.
It matters.
It matters. He could still, Romo, when he's on the field, is still an excellent quarterback.
And that's how I look at it. When he's on the field, he will be a difference maker. And that's in the game of football, especially when the season's coming to a close, you have to have difference makers. And he is that guy.
I'm challenging you because you're too nice of a guy. You're a very nice man.
I am a nice guy.
Jeff Saturday is a very, very nice man. So I'm challenging you on this because here's my thing. It's the back, and then we have to remember who we're talking.
Played through the back.
Hold on, wait a minute. I understand that.
He's played through it.
When he was 32, 33, something like
even
that.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, all right, he played through that, but he's got 2 cents. And then I'm thinking about it like this. This is Tony Romo here. No matter how much protection he has, he's scrambling out of the pocket. He subjects himself to getting hits.
That's true.
And then even when he slid, slid with his back, with his upper body, with his torso straight up. You don't slide like he's supposed to be in a slant. I mean, he slid with his back straight. He slid like he was sitting. I mean, that's how it came down.
I have a question.
These are the kind of things that he does.
But that's not because he's 36. That's because.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just talking about you get to a point where you wake up and listen, y'all know, look.
I agree with that.
Hold on. I'm older than you. Am I not? I'm 48. I'm older than you. I'm older than you. Listen to your elders. You wake up one day. Listen, you'll wake up one day. Here's what I mean. You'll wake up one day and it just hits you. You're not what you used to be. You're just not what you used to be. You don't. There's no preparation. There's nothing warning. You just wake up and like this. Damn, I just can't do this anymore.
And there's nothing.
I mean, that's what happens.
And you know what really points it out to you that you're not what you used to be when you're sitting across from a younger dude. That really.
That's when it's glaring.
When you're playing against an old dude, you don't feel old.
I haven't discovered that yet. I haven't discovered covered that yet, but that's a good one. That's a good one. A good try. A good try.
New
but
York
it is
Football
true.
Giants against
It
the
is
Dallas
true.
Cowboys in Arlington, 4:25 Eastern. Go Blue. Jeff, you're staying with us?
I'm staying with you.
Okay, good. Up
I don't know.
next.